Hello, mathematicians, and welcome to your first day of April Number Corner. This month, we're going to get started with our calendar collector. You won't need any materials today. For calendar collector this month, we will plant seeds and measure the plants each day once they sprout. We will get to track and share the measurement data over the next few weeks. Before we get started, let's read a story to learn a little more about how plants grow. Before we read, I want you to be thinking about what you know about how plants grow. From Seed to Plant by Alan Fowler. Seeds are in a lot of the foods you eat. Tomato seeds are tiny. You can swallow them and not even know it. Watermelon seeds are too hard to swallow. You spit them out. Peach pits are too big to swallow. You eat around them. Seeds are important. All plants grow from seeds. How do seeds form? They begin with tiny grains called pollen. Pollen is made in the stamens of a flower. When a bee visits a flower to sip its sweet nectar, pollen clings to the insect's body. When the bee visits another flower of the same kind, some pollen falls onto that flower's pistil. At the bottom of the pistil, a seed case holds eggs. Each pollen grain sends a slender tube down the pistil to the eggs. One tube grows into each egg in the seed case. The egg now becomes a seed. Inside the seed is the tiny plant, or seedling, and food for the seedling. The seed grows a tough wall around it. The seed case also changes. It may become the fruit of the plant, such as a watermelon or a pear. The seed case may also become a tough pod, such as a pea pod or a peanut shell. The peas or peanuts inside are the seeds. To become a new plant, the seed takes a trip. Small seeds are blown by the wind. Some seeds float in water. Other seeds stick to the fur of animals. When the seed lands, the trip is over. The seed will need good soil, water, and sunlight to grow. People plant seeds too. Farmers plant seeds to raise new crops. You might plant seeds in your garden at home. Isn't it amazing that these tall trees grew from a tiny seed? Show a connection if you learned anything new from our book about seeds and plants. Yeah, that was a lot of new information. You can grow many different kinds of vegetables, just like we saw in the video. This month, we are going to plant corn and peas. Let's have a look at what we're going to need to plant our corn and peas, and then we'll get started. I will show you how to plant each seed. We will need 2 pots, 2 seeds, 2 craft sticks, a marker, and a small tray or a piece of paper or newspaper to work on so we don't make too big of a mess. Let's have a look at what I have ready for us, and we'll start planting our corn and peas. Here is everything that we're going to need. We have 2 pots. One pot will be for our corn and 1 pot will be for our peas. We also have a watering can that we'll need later. We have 2 sticks. One is labeled for our corn with the type of seed it is. It's a corn seed, and we're going to plant it today, April 5th, 2021. We are also going to plant a pea seed on April 5th, 2021. So we need to label our craft sticks so we know what our plants will be. Here are our 2 packages of seeds. 1 seed will be a corn seed, 1 will be a pea seed. Think about what you might know about these 2 vegetables. Have you ever seen corn stalks, maybe driving on the highway? You've seen a field of corn? Think about what those corn stalks look like. Have you ever seen peas growing in a garden? If you have, think about what those look like. We will plant 1 of each seed. Here is what our corn seed will look like when we plant it. And here's what our pea seed will look like when we plant it. The first thing we need to do is fill up each pot, almost all the way full, with dirt. We'll fill each one 3/4 of the way full. I already have some dirt on my shovel. I'm going to put right in there. Dirt or soil. Gonna fill it up. There's 1 scoop and 1 more. Almost all the way full. Now I need to put my label in to my pot so I know that this is going to be my peas. Now I need to put some dirt into my second pot that I've labeled with a 1. I'll show you why in a few minutes. And I'm going to fill that pot up 3/4 of the way with my soil, just like I did for my peas. 1 more scoop I think should do it. Now I need to put my corn label into this pot. Now that I have my labels and most of my soil into both of my pots, I need to make a little hole into each pot to put my seed. So I'm just going to use my finger to make a little hole right here in the soil for my peas and a little hole right in the soil for my corn. I'm going to check that I have my pea seed and I'm going to drop it in to my hole in my pea pot and make sure I have my corn seed and drop it into the hole in my corn pot. Now I'm going to take just a little more dirt and cover up my seeds. Maybe a little bit more, just to make sure they're nice and covered with my soil. Now that my seeds are planted, I can take my watering can and gently add some water to each pot. Because like we read in the book, plants need water to grow. They also need sunlight. After I water both of our plants, I'm going to put them by a window to make sure they get lots of sunlight. Now for the rest of this month, we will be measuring how much our corn and pea plants grow each day after they start to sprout. We want to have data or information for more than just the 1 corn seed and the 1 pea seed that we planted. So I've actually planted 6 groups of seeds for us to measure over the next few weeks so we can track our data. Here are the rest of the plants that we will be growing. All right, I will check back in with you with our plants after they've started to sprout. You will show your teacher in Number Corner today on Seesaw what plants we are going to grow. We're growing peas and corn. Let your teacher know. And I will see you next time for Number Corner.